Welcome to another edition of our On the Economy video discussions of important economic matters. In this case, we're going to talk about the January jobs report with one of my personal favorites, Chad Stone, who's chief economist here at the Center on Budget. Chad, the newspapers, the wires, and the markets are excited about a strong jobs report for January. Give us your take, headline numbers, and give us some context. Is this as good as the kind of uplifting Friday reaction as we sometimes get with a number like this?
Well, we're smiling, and the markets are smiling, and this is actually a good jobs report. It's one of the few good jobs reports we've had in this recovery, but we had 240,000 jobs on private and government payrolls combined. I have to check, 257,000 jobs in the private sector, okay. 23 straight months of private sector job creation. Another 2 years of that will have erased the hole that got created by the Great Recession.
So let me ask you about that. How sustainable, I mean, nobody knows the answer, but you can't be sure, but how sustainable do you think this kind of an accelerated monthly trend is on the job side?
Right. I wish I could say that we're building momentum for a strong recovery. That when forecasters like the Federal Reserve, the Congressional Budget Office, private forecasters, when they look ahead, they see an awful lot of headwinds to the economy, and they're looking at sluggish growth. So I think it'll be a real push to sustain this kind of jobs momentum. We'd love to see it. That's what a strong recovery is about, but it's a tough pull.
Now, the unemployment rate fell to 8.3%. I know I remember vividly, back in late 2009, it was 10%. So we seem to have a trend there. Talk a little bit about that, and again, are there some things embedded in that unemployment rate, long-term unemployment, for example, that we should know about?
Yeah. The 8.3% drop in the unemployment rate was a little bit more than people were expecting, and the unemployment rate has fallen for the past several months, much more than people were expecting. Still, 8.3%, that's a high unemployment rate. When you look at people who are looking for have dropped out of the labor force or are working part-time when they'd like to be working full-time, when you include them in your measure, you get up to 15.1%, and that's down from that. That measure's all-time high. That's still a lot of workers that are not working as much as they would like.
Long-term.
The long-term unemployment rate.
Meaning what, by the way?
People who've been looking for a job. People who've been looking for a job for 27 weeks or longer. That's 26 weeks is what you get in most states for regular unemployment insurance, although states are cutting back on that. But people who've been looking for a job for more than 27 weeks, more than 2 out of 5 workers are in that state. That's an unprecedented level of long-term unemployment.
So more than 40% of the unemployed, it's over 5 million people, that would be over 5 million people, jobless for at least 6 months. Final question. Congress, in its wisdom, could screw this up, in my view, having to do with the squabbling going on over the payroll tax extension and the unemployment insurance benefit extension, something you just mentioned. What, in light of this momentum, am I right about that? Is that something that's even more important to keep going?
That's definitely important to keep going. One of the reasons that forecasters are not so optimistic about the future is the drag that's going to come on the economy from a lot of things happening on the decline of the stimulus that we had, the fact that some other things are going to restrict what's going on. But the payroll tax cut and the unemployment insurance, that's something that should be a no-brainer. This jobs report doesn't say we don't need that. This says let's build on the momentum of this jobs report by passing the unemployment insurance and payroll tax extension, and let's do it clean without a lot of restrictions that some people would like to put on people's access to unemployment insurance, and that will keep the recovery going.
That's a great place to stop, from your lips to Capitol Hill's ears. Thanks very much, Chad Stone, and we'll see you next time.